You're coming up to your 16th birthday and you've decided that you want to ride a 50cc geared motorcycle to give you the freedom to get out on your own. Today we're going to be looking at the Yamimoto CK50cc from Yamasaki, the 50cc specialist. Hello my fellow riders and welcome back to Riding Reviews. Today we're going to be looking at the Yamimoto CK50. This is a 50cc geared motorcycle designed for a 16-year-old in mind. So we're going to go over this spec, design, comfort, cost of riding and pros and cons. Spec. Now this comes with a tried and tested 50cc geared engine. It has 4 gears and it produces approximately 3.2 horsepower. Now this doesn't sound like a lot, but you've got to remember at 16 years old you're only legally allowed to go 30 miles an hour. You'll notice this sort of engine is in a lot of things like children's quads, off-road vehicles and small capacity bikes. At 16 years old you are only legally allowed to go 30 miles an hour and it does that absolutely fine. When you do turn 17, you can have it de-restricted. Also comes with the upside down forks, discs on the front and the back, 17-inch tyres, front and back, which gives you a really nice smooth ride. It does come with a TFT display and a 17-litre tank. Now another thing that you've got to remember about this sort of bike is they are really economical. So this bike will do approximately 120 miles to the gallon. That means that to this full tank, you're going to get approximately 400 miles, 350 to 400 miles. Design. The design, the fit and finish of this bike is really nice. All the gaps are where they're supposed to be. There isn't any gaping holes. The wire management is really nice and it is all very tidy. TFT clocks are really nice on this one as well. They're very bright, and the main thing on any 50cc motorcycle is to be able to be seen. This has a very bright front headlight and at night you're going to be able to see really well. You can tell on this bike that they have put a lot of detail and effort into trying to make it look as nice as possible. All the fit and finish is really nice. All the gaps are where they're supposed to be and there isn't anything that looks out of place. Comfort. Apparently the average size for a middle-aged man is 5'9". I am 5'9", so I can give a good representation of how I fit. My feet are on the floor. I can't put them flat on the floor. I have to use my tiptoes. When you are riding a bike anyway, you are supposed to be hovering over the back brake. So that means that you're always in control, especially on a hill start. That means you're not going to roll backwards into the car behind you. But anyway, if I put my foot on the back brake, you can see that my leg is comfortably tucked underneath the tank and my other foot is nicely on the floor, fully flat. So this is generally the riding style you're going to be looking at. It's very nice. Your arms are straight, your back is straight. You are sitting upright, so you're going to be able to see over the top of all the traffic, which is always a good thing because there are a lot of numpties out there. Grips are in the right position. Handlebar, the brake levers aren't too far out so you can grip them comfortably. Again, I've got fairly large hands, but I can grip that really nicely. When you're sitting in the riding position, you can see approximately 80% of the mirrors. You may be able to adjust them slightly better to get a little bit more angle on the back, but also remember, when you're riding, you are supposed to be looking in your blind spot just to make sure that nobody is coming behind you or beside you. So remember, keep an eye on those blind spots anyway, but your mirrors are going to get about 80% of use on them. Clutch and gears can be adjusted to however you want to adjust them. There is a link on the end of the clutch lever. There is also an adjustment in the middle of the cable, and you can adjust it on the engine as well to change where that biting point comes in. The clutch is really soft on this one, and it's not going to take a lot of pressure to be able to pull that clutch on and off, which is always nice. If you get like a really big and powerful motorcycle and they have those hydraulic clutches, sometimes they do start to wear on your hands a little bit after using them. So a soft clutch is really, really nice, and you can adjust it if you want to. Again, with the gear selector is fully adjustable. You can put it up, you can put it down, depending on where you want to sit. Some people lean a little bit more forward, some people lean a little bit more backwards. It very much depends on how tall you are and how you feel comfortable. But the actual seating position is really nice. The seat on this one is a foam-filled seat, so it will soften up over time. It is kind of tough at the minute, but unlike some of the other 50cc's on the market at the minute, this one is going to be fine to be riding for quite a long period of time. You've got to remember that this bike on average will do 30 miles an hour. So it means that if you're going 30 miles, that should take you an hour. Realistically, it's probably going to take you a little bit longer because you're never going a full tilt all the time. But you will have to sit on this bike for an extended period of time. So you want to get something that is nice and comfortable. The rear seat as well is very, very large. You can, in theory, take a pillion on this one. At 16 years old, you're legally not allowed to, but the bike is capable of doing so. Is the engine powerful enough to pull two people? In theory, yes. In practice, cost of riding. Now this bike comes out at £1,999 plus £150 OTR. This is on the lower end of the 50cc geared market. Yamasaki's most expensive bike comes in at £2,499 plus OTR. The most expensive 50cc bike you can get in the UK at the minute is probably the Aprilia RS50 at £5,500. So you could buy two of these for the price you would buy one Aprilia RS50. Insurance is going up a little bit this year. So on average now, I would say you're looking at somewhere between the £600 and £900 mark for insurance on this bike. Lots of people have been looking for insurance. If you go on the comparison sites, we have found that they are considerably more expensive. So please go ring up BikeSure directly and talk to them, and they should be able to get you the best deal. This is what I've found through years of doing this. BikeSure generally are the cheapest out there. You can by all means go and find somebody else, and if you do find insurance cheaper, please comment below. Also, if you already have a 50cc bike, just for people's information, if you want to comment below and tell us how much you got your 50cc insurance from and who you got it from, that will be very helpful to some of the other viewers of this video. Tax on this is £24 now. It was £21 last year, but now it is £24. Your first year's tax comes within the price of the OTR. Also, the bike will be MOT'd for 3 years. Any new vehicle in the UK comes with 3 years MOT. Warranty on this is 1 year's parts, or if you bring it directly back to Yamasaki, they will do the labour as well. But if you take it to a separate garage, they will not pay for the labour. They will only pay for the part. Remember, when riding a motorcycle, there are safety things that you need to purchase, i.e. a helmet, a jacket, a decent pair of gloves, a pair of trousers, and a comfortable pair of boots that protect your ankle. All of these things are really important. If you come off of your bike at 30 miles an hour, and the statistics say that about 60% of new riders will at least fall off their bike, they're not generally hurting themselves that much, but they do get dropped a lot. If you come off at 30 miles an hour, you will lose a lot of skin if you're not using the correct protective equipment. So make sure that you buy that. On average, you're looking for the whole caboodle somewhere in the region of about £300 for some decent kit. So that's head to toe. You can get fairly decent stuff that is all CE certified. Bike Sure do a really nice range on this. If you are going to get insurance for this bike, please tell them Riding Reviews sent you, and this will give me a little bit of kickback from them, which helps support this channel so I can make more videos for you guys. Also, if you need any equipment, i.e. data cables, OBD readers and other peripherals for your motorcycle, please check out my Riding Review shop. All proceeds go to help support this channel. Pros and cons. This is a 50cc geared bike. It is designed to do 30 miles an hour. You can have this bike de-restricted and it will do between 40 and 45 miles an hour. To get this de-restricted, it is fairly cheap, and it costs about 14 to 15 pounds for the part to de-restrict it, which is a little bit cheaper than some of the other ones. This bike is a little bit taller than some of the other ones out there. The Yamasaki F30 is 730mm, and the WK Scrambler, I believe, is a little bit smaller, but I heard through the grapevine that they may no longer be doing that vehicle. This is a really, really good bike for starting out. It's going to get you the ability to be able to do the gears, so that when you go up to a bigger bike, you are able to use the gears, because they're going to be the same pattern. You're going to be using them in the same way. The clutch control is going to be very similar regardless of what bike you have. Parts availability, Yamasaki have all the parts for these bikes on the shelf. So if you do need them, contact Yamasaki or go to yamasaki.co.uk. Some of the things that you need to do with these bikes. Servicing, it is really, really key to keep your bike serviced. Get them to do the valve clearances on every single service, because otherwise it's going to cause you issues in the future if you do not. That is another thing that you've got to take into consideration when thinking about cost. Servicing. Servicing for this, if you bring it to Yamasaki, is going to cost you somewhere in the region of £100 per service. That includes the valve clearances. So it's £99. They do the valve clearances as well. Everything on this bike seems really, really nice. I would say this is one of the better bikes that have come out of China over the last couple of years. There are all the gaps, the fit and finish is really nice. What do I think of this? You've got to remember that I am a seasoned rider and I have ridden many, many thousands of these 50cc's. I do prefer riding big bikes because I can. Smaller bikes are a little bit slow, but that is something that you're going to have to deal with. If you want to ride a bike, you have to ride at 30 miles an hour. If you are going to buy a 50cc bike, you've got to remember a couple of things. As I said before, servicing is key. These only hold 800 millilitres of oil, which means that they can get gummed up fairly quickly. If you follow the service schedule, this isn't an issue. If you don't, you may get issues in the future. Hopefully I've given you all the information you need to make an informed decision on whether you want this bike. If you want one, go to yamasaki.co.uk and have a look at the dealer map, and you can find one in your area. If you liked this video, hit the thumbs up to tell the YouTube algorithm that you liked it. Subscribe to the channel to stay updated to all of my latest content, remembering that I have tips, tricks and tutorials on how to maintain your bike as well. But as always, ride safe.